Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And the final video in the World Tour for the Divine General team is Tempered Edge EX5 Veldora. The hardest, well, I say hardest, but I just had, a lot of fun going through the Fire Tempered Edge, and can't wait to do this one. But we are supposed to use a magic team and technically Pierce, and he doesn't have any defense against synergy. What he does have is a starting hand of blues, and he's nerfs greens for a number of turns. So we're going to have to deal with that. But with two strong single targets that are now type neutral, we're not going to have nearly the same problem that we did with the Fire stage, where both Raphael and Blanc are type disadvantage and nerfed. And we don't have to deal with any binds or poison or anything. So this stage should probably actually go a lot smoother, despite having double the amount of HP that Claimant had. So this will be the last one. I'm so tired of using this stupid team. It's just they had the skeleton of a really good team, and then they filled it in with a whole bunch of jello and stupidity. So let's get this over with. Okay, so starting out, we can't really do anything about a 4 blue hand, and I'm not going to try and even attempt to convert it, so we'll just use a stack of Raphael, and I already had swapped in Raphael and Blanc, so we took out the hero and Gazel from the front line. Forgot to hit record, but yeah, it's not a big deal. So here, on turn 2, we're looking for a good hand, and normally 3 greens would be a good hand if we had sent 5 greens turn 1, but we didn't. So we're going to be a bit short on points, so we're going to send a 5-hand of green this turn, and then that'll kind of get us jump started. Now we do have a light character in the Masked Hero, but she's AoE, and she has a terrible multiplier, so we're not going to do a lot of damage with her. So we're going to be banking on nuking with either Raphael or Blanc, or both, depending, how your gear is looking. But here's our 5 orbs, plus the green buff, plus at least 30% extra skill points, so next turn we'll be in a more decent spot, except for the fact that we're not going to have Elmesia, so we can't reset this turn, which is going to be impactful. So I'm just going to send these 4 oranges, because there's no point, and hopefully we get some more greens on turn 4. And yeah, we'll just take out Gazel, because I don't want him to get any additional ult gauge. So now the greens are nerfed for the next 4 turns, so on top of not wanting to orb change too much, it's they're nerfed. So we're only ever going to get minus 30% on greens because of Diablo's 50% buff. Now the skill points will actually make back, already, because we've done a few orb changes, and thankfully we only have to do 1 convert here. So we're going to bring Diablo in for the hero. We're just going to use his 20-point buff and leave it, and then we'll bring Gazel in and do the 1 orb change. So we'll ult swap for free, we'll do this, and then we'll take Diablo out. This gives us a full hand of greens, which is great, and we're halfway through the fight, and we already have 2 ults, and we're going to get an EX ult for Raphael now, and that's very good. But he does have a decent amount of HP, and we are not type advantage. So we're going to need to have some extra power here. We're going to need 3 buffs, at least 3 buffs. Synergy is probably one of the most important ones, since we're already stacking extra synergy power. The ult buff, maybe. The space buff, it only applies to Raphael and Diablo and Blanc, so if that's going to be our nuking trio, then sure. The Pierce buff, the stage is built for a Pierce team, so we can certainly use that. Gazel's debuff, don't worry about that. Alright, thank you for the counter. Thank you, another. Please, sir, may I have some more? I thought it paused there, so I thought he was actually going to counter me. Okay. So turn 5 kicks over, and we got, look at that. Look at that hand. If we could change 2 orbs of Divine Generals, we wouldn't be that bad. But we can't. We can only change 1. And we don't have Elmesia again, because greens are still nerfed. So we're just going to take all of our nukers out and just try and get as many skill points as possible off this, which is going to be 4 hero orbs. Which, I guess one happy side of Gazel's skill is it's not just green orbs that get the buff, it's all Divine General orbs. So those blues and oranges technically did give us more skill points than what they normally would. It's just not as much as what the greens were. So here, Hero alt, Gazel alt, not the greatest thing in the world, but we can kind of get rid of that. There's one more turn of the greens being nerfed, I think. I tried to check it there, but we can't do that. So now we can check it, and you don't have to, because you can just clearly see that red debuff marker right there. So now, we're going to orb change a few times. So we're going to use Gazel's 35-point skill, and then we'll reset with Elmesia, now that we have that. And then we can get another free stack of Raphael, we can get a free Diablo buff, and then we can send Gazel away, because he just has that one alt orb. And then we can use the alt swap for Blanc. And then turn 7 we'll have a Diablo alt. And we'll probably have a Blanc EX alt. Probably being the keyword. But we're also... Are we going to get back Elmesia again on this turn? I don't actually know. I don't actually... Oh, yeah, we are. Well, ooh. Yeah, we will, because we'll get the 1 green, and then we'll get the enamor effect from Elmesia, so we'll be good. So we have 2 space single target EX alts ready to go. We're gonna have a Diablo EX alt here. Is that 25%? I think it is. Okay, 33, 52, and we can work with that hand. So yeah, there's the Diablo alt. We can alt swap and send him away, I guess. Just how are we going to do this? Because we need to bring Gazel in. So, okay, we're going to alt swap with Blanc because it's 20 points. We'll take her out. We could rewind here. Okay, we're going to use Diablo now too. Alright, so let's rewind. We can get some extra stacks. So we've used Diablo's skill, that's fine. Rewind. We don't need to alt rush anyone because they're already there. And we're not going to nuke with the hero. Now we'll bring Gazel in. We only need to use 1 orb convert. So that's good, but we can't use Elmesia, so it's going to cost quite a bit. And then we can use another stack of Raphael, and we'll send all 6. We're going to get this Gazel alt out of here, because it does nothing for us except cut down our points. But on the plus side, greens are no longer nerfed. So we're going to get maximum value out of these once again. And then depending on what 7.5 looks like, we can get a few more stacks. So what does turn 7.5 look like? It looks like shit. I mean, there's nothing we can do here, so we might as well just send the blue orbs. Like, there's no point in doing anything. I mean, we could, yeah, we're gonna make Elmesia back, so we can at least reset and use a few stacks of Raphael for funsy onesies. Yeah, we'll just do this. 93 skill points on these blues. 313 points is unfortunately not enough to use all of the buffs. But fairly confident that with two single target EX alts, we're still going to have the raw power. It's just we're going to be skipping on something. So what do we skip? One is the Gazel buff. But then what is the next buff that we don't send here? We'll use the Pierce buff, because the stage wants us to Pierce. So boom. And then we'll bring Diablo in. We'll use the synergy buff, because that's what we've been stacking. And then do we use the space buff, dark buff, or do we use the alt buff from Blanc? That's, a decision that you're going to have to make. So, what do we go with? We go with the alt buff. And then we can do 2 more stacks of Raphael here, because Elmesia will reset her back, or reset Raphael back down to 0 point and then a 20 point, and we have 48 points to use. So yeah, we're good, and we have to use that so we can use the second stack. But here we are. And now, because we have a Diablo ult and it's AoE, I just kind of want to see what kind of damage he puts out with all these. 1.4 million HP left over on Veldora. So it's a hefty amount, but we'll send all 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Diablo ult. See, the sad thing about this is that I'm okay with the unit picks that we got for this Annie. And the animations look really good. It's just that some of the kits are just kind of bonkers. Bonkers in like the, why did you do this? Who thought this was a good idea? 443k. Okay, it's not bad. And then Blanc, if he's doing 443, then it's a dead giveaway that she's going to kill, especially at 120. So he's dead. Congratulations, we have beat all of Tempered Edge with the Divine General team. Was it a struggle? Yeah, kinda. Was it a struggle because the team is just not built well? Yeah. 3 million damage. Plenty. This was unnecessarily difficult to do, and it took an unnecessary amount of time, because if I came back in here and used, like, the antagonist team, which I didn't do a world tour for them, or if I used the Autogram Demon Lord team, which I also didn't do a world tour for them, they would clear all these stages in minutes. And I think, is that a difference between a burst team and a stacking team, or is that a difference between a well-built team and a non-well-built team? You be the judge of that. But that's it from me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.